Ready, Phantom?
Ready, Keg.
Let's go! Oh, hey, it's time for the TBBAP show. Everybody watch, come on, let's go. TBBAP! Welcome to the new TBBAP episode.
Two best brothers bitch about ponies.
And
That's
today, we've got a very special guest.
Guests.
It's Gibbontake Shoes.
We got Gibbontake.
Gibbontake.
We've also got another special guest, Tommy Oliver.
Tommy Oliver.
Wow.
The renowned hater of My Little Pony has decided to join us.
Yep.
And Jesse, the Horseshoe King Wood,
my
is
cock
also here.
is
his
your
cock
brother.
To the table. Yeah, so we invited them to tear
For
this
very
shit down.
special episode.
That's
Very
right.
special.
That's right. And you know, much like how the main six made Twilight's home more comfortable for her, we too invited our family into our new show to make it more comfortable for us.
Yes.
There's your,
And
there's
I'm
your
gonna
connection.
spread
There's your
And now we're
connection.
gonna ruin
shit
it.
everywhere.
So, there
Yes.
Please, yes. Okay. So let's start with first impressions, as is our thing. So I thought this episode was fucking dope.
Really?
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was super cool.
Really?
I was having fun the whole time.
Wow.
Possibly because I was talking
whole
with you
time?
guys most of the time. But it was the whole time. There were a couple pinky gags. They were kind of shitty as they're hit or
No,
miss.
no, all the pinky gags were the best bits. Those were all perfect.
They were mostly the best. Like,
All of
Pinky's
them.
hiding the cannons everywhere, and she doesn't even know where they are. That's going to be like a thing. That's funny. That
Yeah.
amuses me. Yeah. Remember when she was like, remember when all those fun times we had in the castle? Remember those fun times in the library with the books? And that time it exploded? And everyone was like, damn, Pinky. That was funny.
What a faux pas.
What a faux pas. You know, I've criticized Pinky for those faux pas before, but now I'm starting to get that's her character. It's okay. I don't mind her faux
It was
pas.
the
I
best
forgive
thing I've
you.
ever seen.
That was great. I laughed. I laughed a lot. Even Fluttershy got some comedy when she was all like, sad, 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 sad.
That was my favorite. I audibly chuckled at that one.
Me too.
That was pretty good.
Even Spike was not bad this episode. Now that Spike's a bad character, it's just he gets written in shitty ways. And I thought he was funny. Like when he comes in, he's all like, "Sweet Celestia, Jesus fucking Christ, you guys ruined it." That was funny. Spike's a funny guy.
I think the reaction was just as good. They're just like, "Oh, thank God, someone fucking said it." Yeah, this place blows
they
balls.
act like
Yeah,
human
well,
beings.
wait a minute.
Horsemen
What about
beings.
Applejack? She's the honest one. She should have said it.
Oh,
What the fuck?
Oh,
Applejack.
out of character.
Out of character, Applejack. What the fuck, Applejack? What you doing?
No, god damn it, you know what? That's bullshit, because that's a Rainbow Dash character trait, and they fucking arbitrarily switched it around in season 4. and
Well,
it
not
pissed me
this
off
time.
then, and it pisses me off now, just like
Well-
the castle pisses me off. They try to make a whole episode to try to change my mind. You're not gonna change my mind.
Oh,
the castle
yeah.
still sucks. It's
let's
still
talk
gay.
about that real quick. So the whole premise of the episode is that they're in this castle trying to make it less shit, because like they're acknowledging that it's shit. But if they just didn't make it shit in the first place, we wouldn't even need this episode.
No, Nate.
Well, that's not
obviously,
really
what this
their fault.
episode does.
Isn't it
hang on, what's
good
Tom
that
saying?
they acknowledge the fact that the
it
castle
is
is
good.
It
cold
was
and
supposed
unwelcoming?
to be shit. Obviously, they did it
Yeah.
on purpose to make this episode happen. They were like, "Guys, we need to make this
Yes,
castle as shit
this
as
was
possible."
the payoff.
So
No, you guys, you're not
This was
thinking.
the payoff
It
to
was,
those months of us shitting on it.
Yeah, but
Well,
like,
maybe they were
you know,
like-
Hasbro, the
they-
toy company, was the people who made
Yeah.
the castle. They had to put it in. They thought, I mean, they had to make it shit because it's a shit. But now they could have spruced it up and then sold a whole
And then-
other toy.
And then
But
the
they
writers
didn't even do
finished.
anything. They just had a load of twigs and the ceiling.
Well, it's hard to work with fucking Crystal, man. I think it's totally appropriate that they just did some interior decorating.
And so they
Yeah, I
finished
mean,
season
that's-
4, and then the writers were like, "Oh shit, God, this castle sucks. Let's make an
Yeah.
episode about that."
Yeah,
See, that's
it
called
was-
that's called
I mean,
that's
they
called
played
art
the
from
hand they're
adversity.
dealt.
Art from
They played
adversity.
the hand. Yeah, exactly.
They realized,
that's
shit,
good.
now we're suddenly lacking like the centerpiece of our whole setting.
Yeah.
And now Twilight lives like half a block away from the city in some weird gay castle.
I knew as soon as the episode started that I liked this episode because Twilight was just so uncomfortable in her castle and was just so not not happy there, not comfortable. And they're all things that we've been saying, like, of course she would feel that way, and she did. So, you know, good job
We were
not
right the
fucking it
whole
up.
time. Yeah, we were
were
right,
right.
when we
We
were
were
all
always
angry.
right.
So fuck
I
you,
wonder-
everyone who defended it.
See,
I
everyone
wonder
who's
if
like,
now you can buy like Applejack's Crystal Kitchen and Rarity's
yeah.
Crystal Dining Room.
Oh,
and,
God.
That
and
sounds
Pinkie
awesome.
Pie's Crystal Trap, like magic party traps.
That sounds dope as fuck.
see,
Yeah.
Kristen, they were
Party traps.
totally
It's like a
on your
Mighty
wavelength.
Max.
Oh god, that'd be ridiculous. I wouldn't buy it, but I'm sure little girls would.
I hope they
Like
do
me.
rebuild the library at some point. They can't just leave a smoldering
no,
hellhole in
it's
the middle
gone.
of the town.
Well, now there's just
Oh,
a
they should
crater.
put, like,
It's
a
ground
monument or
zero
something.
Ponyville. Is that
'Cause
too
they-
insensitive to say?
You know what I want?
They dug
I
up the
want
roots,
a Communist
so-
City style statue of fucking Twilight, like fucking defeating Tyrek, where that thing used to be.
and etch into
That's
it
what
the
I want.
names of all the ponies who died in the Tyrek
Yeah.
invasion.
The name of those fucking bees who got murdered.
You and the keg. You and the,
bees,
goddamn
man.
bees.
The casualties of war that have been unaddressed. The propaganda from the government has brushed over these casualties so as to draw in real estate revenue.
you and your
from
6 million
outside
bees.
ponies. Yep.
It's all
Why don't you build a
fabricated.
statue of the bees?
They should build a statue of the bees. That gets my vote.
Why isn't
You know,
Fluttershy
I
mad
did
about
like
it? Come on, guys. She'd
Yeah,
be all over
Fluttershy.
that shit.
maybe you're right. She's part B.
Inconsistencies.
Inconsistent.
0 out of 10.
I hated it. It was awful.
What else was good?
Oh,
let's talk
no.
about let's talk about the main thing this episode.
Yes.
Like the whole like idea was they do this interior decorating because like Twilight is like not feeling it. So it's this like thing where they decorate and the song was cool and yeah, like the conflict is them like deciding how to decorate and like you really couldn't make a more juvenile conflict if you tried. But you know, it was fine. Like it was a simple episode. It's like people do argue about that shit all the time. It was real life. And
Argue
and
about
then they
what
resolved
shit?
it because they remembered their friends. And that was it. Like that's it. That's the whole episode.
Well,
And you know, on
you
that
would've
level,
thought-
it was really boring.
I was
but
yeah, but like
functional.
I was thinking like the whole time, why didn't anybody bring books? They know Twilight likes
Yeah.
books.
yeah, they
Gibbon
said
said-
books over and over again at the end. Like
And
remember
then they
the
never did.
books. And
Oh,
they
they didn't
crashed
even
in
bring
the
'em at
books,
the end, did
and she
they?
Yeah.
read the books, and she smelled the books. Hey,
And then
You know
they
what
just put
wouldn't
the
be good?
roots in there.
books.
They didn't even not even books. Fucking roots.
Let me-
Let's dig up her tree and wave the corpse of her house in front of her.
I
That'll
was
cheer her
wondering,
up.
like, wouldn't it have been funny if they were just like, they open up the door and it's just the background of Twilight's library. They're just like, yeah, we just dug the tree out and shoved it in the middle of your house.
That's what I
Green
wanted to
screen
happen.
in the
Yeah.
middle of her living
Like
room.
it never happened. And then she just comes in there and then they just use that one background for the rest of the series. They're just like, see guys, it's like it's never gone.
Awesome.
Hey,
Thank you,
let me
DHX.
ask you guys this about the the big fucking what do you call it mobile, the big memory mobile
Right.
that they make
Oh,
out of
oh,
the roots.
yeah,
what
what was up
were
with
the
that?
gems magic? Were they enchanted with memories, or were they just like
I-
symbolic?
I too was wondering the fuck out of that,
Like-
and I think they have to be magic.
Can you
'Cause
actually
How do you
s-
get a picture in a gem?
Well, I think they were just like showing us that like, oh, I put this gem here because it represents that time, da da da, and this one represents that time.
But
this
so
other
many of
cool
them
thing
look
happened.
completely identical. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I can
I don't know.
believe
Maybe.
that Rarity
Now-
would know a spell to put pictures inside gems.
You know, I
Probably.
agree.
she'd
Rarity.
probably
I
like
agree.
sell them on Etsy
Maybe.
or something. in her
Okay,
spare time.
speaking of Rarity, as the resident Rarity obsessed motherfucker,
Yes.
my
Yes.
question is, and like this is something that's totally asinine, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway because that's
It's
what I
okay.
do.
The
Is
show is about bitching. We want to
okay,
nitpick.
so
I
I'm gonna
don't.
nitpick.
Criticize.
I'm gonna nitpick the fuck out of this. If
I don't want to
Rarity,
nitpick.
Rarity does fucking client work all the time. How does she not know how to think for someone else's taste and not her own?
You know, that's a good
Well,
point.
Well, I
It
kind
was a
of
bit.
like
Fair.
it. I like it when they're kind of like obscenely way too stupid.
I mean, that's how
But
this show
I
works.
find it utterly
Yeah.
hilarious.
Well, you know,
But
I
Jesse,
guess
that makes
boring
them
shit.
out of character. They were out
Ah,
of
fuck
character.
You're gay.
Okay, I think that if Rarity was alone, put in charge of the project of decorating the house, like it probably would sort of skew towards her taste, but she would have done a pretty good job.
Well, she did a
I
good
think
job on the
fact that
dining
she was
room.
doing it. Yeah, I think the fact, and really that was the thing, like the fact that she was colliding with everybody else's shit was what was causing the problem, and it didn't work altogether. But like Applejack got a room to herself that we assume is good. Rarities was good. Like, everyone, when they were on their own doing their thing, turned out good. It's when they were all, like, trying to shove their shit together.
The moral is,
they had a problem.
Collabs are bad.
That's right. Collabs are bad.
Oh,
Everyone
God.
take note.
What are we doing right now? We're just completely ignoring the lesson.
This isn't a collab. This is a conversation. There's a difference.
We didn't learn anything.
Exactly.
I didn't
That's
learn
exactly
anything.
the same.
I just thought
so
it was
what do we
funny
think
how,
about?
like... Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. What do we think about what?
What do we think about the songs? They were
They were good.
They were
I mean,
right.
what was like...
Better than last episodes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Agreed. I thought the
I can't
reprise
really remember
was
it.
more catchy than the initial one.
I
happens.
like it
That
when
happens.
they do reprises.
It is.
Reprises
it
are
is
the
nice.
best.
It brings it
Remember
all
in Little
back.
Mermaid, that reprise on that fucking rock? Man, I love that reprise.
I like the line in the song where Rainbow Dash like kept saying, "How could any pony awesome ever ask for more?" Like,
Yeah.
it's implying that Twilight's awesome, but like the way the sentence is structured makes it sound like she's had an aneurysm and she just keeps like shoving awesome randomly into sentences now.
You know, the songs were kind of oddly rainbow focused. Like, she got the most lines out of everybody, which was different from usual. But it was good. I mean, that first note at like the beginning of the first part of the song was fucking awesome. Rainbow's little like, da, so good. Rainbow needs to sing more.
Yes,
Loved it.
I
That's how they're
agree.
teasing us. They're just like, she still hasn't gotten a song.
Awesome as I want to be.
That doesn't count. That's not canon.
I'd like one in the show, too. Yep. Well, that's my list. My list is fucking exhausted. There's not a lot about this episode. Oh, I've got one point to make. So, whereas last episode, you know, we were bitching about it a lot. Last episode
you
had
were
a
bitching
good...
about it a lot. You were
I
really hard on last episode.
don't know. What can I say? I was in a mood.
Nate,
Yeah.
Not that
I
that
actually-
justifies my shit.
I actually
But still.
unsubscribed because you were way too hard on
What?
it and way too nitpicky, and you guys have just been
Oh.
too negative lately. Everyone's getting so negative. I can't take it. The negativity in this fandom. Everyone hates and shits on every episode for no reason. All of you
true.
fucking reviewers, you make me sick, to be perfectly honest.
You know,
with you.
People got really upset about it. I don't know why, because I said over and over, I actually was like net positive on last
You
episode.
see, that's the thing.
You're not
they
net
focused
positive
on me.
enough.
They focus on the negatives when they, hear the review. But you know what? It's true. It's true. I deliberately skewed my rating of that episode lower because I just hate My Little Pony. I don't want anyone to like it. I want it to go away. I'm trying to make it disappear.
The secret
That's
is
why
out.
I did it.
The secret's
but now
out.
I have to apologize. I got to admit, it was a 10 out of 10 episode. I deliberately lowered my score in a fit of jealous rage, and I have to apologize. It is a 10 out of 10, and I admit that now.
Same for every other episode.
And including every other episode. Every other episode is also a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Be sure
TBAP,
to become a patron.
Boom. Yeah, please subscribe and Patreon.
Patreon to
That's what I've been
Patreon
saying all
slash
Jesse has
Gibbontake.
been saying that all along.
Patreon to
I was
me.
in the middle of something.
I'm the
Oh,
guy.
I was gonna say this episode was really simple and didn't really love like the main thing. It was okay. It was functional, but like all the little
Functional.
bits, all the little gags and shit were all really well done, really well timed. And shit.
I did have
Whereas,
some genuine
yeah.
laughs. I mean,
Yeah,
right.
I really,
Whereas last
I laughed
episodes-
when, I
Yeah.
laughed when the not vintage, just old. Like I'm
Yes.
sure that wasn't. I'm sure that joke's been made before, but I still really liked it.
Wait, who said that?
Applejack.
Applejack.
Are these carpets
yeah, right.
vintage? Nope, just old. Good stuff.
I like
Oh,
the
yeah, that
fact
was
that
funny.
Applejack has warming quilts
blankets.
as opposed
Yeah,
to just regular
yeah.
quilts.
What's the difference there? Versus last episode where like the premise was good, it was interesting, there was some good ideas going on there, and then they just fucked up the execution in a bunch of ways.
That's
Made
just
it
how it
boring.
always works, though. Like, the show works so much better
Yeah.
when it's simple, so they can focus on the little things like that.
I know. Pinky
You know?
Pride,
It's
best
been
episode.
5 years. You'd think they'd figure it out by now, but nope. They still gotta just put these odd excursions into ridiculousness at the beginning and end of every season,
Yeah.
and have my experience begin and end with disappointment. Thanks, guys. Love
pretty
you
much.
too.
I think this episode would have been better if it hadn't been all 5 of them. If it had just been like 2 or 3.
No,
like, I
no,
wouldn't.
no.
I wouldn't point to any one character and been like, she was bad. She shouldn't have been in it. But I still think it would have been stronger overall if like they'd given like a
Well,
few
that's
characters
just-
more focus.
I
Well, that's
disagree.
just the same
I
with
know
just
exactly
any
what you're
episode,
saying.
though. Like, if it's
It
just a
is.
2-character episode, it's always better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They
but
tend to
this
be better.
episode wasn't like that's the strength of those kinds of episodes is kind of like delving into a character. This wasn't an episode that delved into anybody.
Well, it
In
could
fact, This
have.
was just like last episode in that like
Yeah.
everyone was
Like,
there.
there's-
Whereas last episode, I felt like they were like shoehorning in lines. This time, it just felt way more natural. It felt like there being
Yeah, I
a
guess.
community that was like functional. I just, I don't. It wasn't obviously like Pinky Pride or anything that like hyper focused and really succeeds. But it just, it tried to do a general good episode featuring everybody,
Yeah.
and I think it succeeded.
Like
Yeah, I
there's
mean,
there's character-driven episodes, and then there's situation-driven episodes, and
Right.
it's okay
Yeah.
to have both.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly
because like
right.
no individual character got to shine, but because like the remain 5 were all on the same wavelength, they kind of acted as one big character because they were all
Yeah.
trying to accomplish the same thing. So it was kind of like a 2-character episode in that regard, as there's 2 kind of mentalities going at each other. So
Yeah.
it did fine. I thought it was way better than last week.
Right. Right.
I don't
Even
know.
Tommy Oliver, who hates My Little Pony.
Yeah,
Like
I
the
mean, this show
episode.
still fucking sucks balls, and it's the worst thing ever. And I just talk about it so you fucks give me money. But in terms of that
That's-
scale,
yeah.
it was pretty good.
Well, if you want my 2 cents, I was meh on last episode. I was meh on this one. I thought it was okay.
Is that so?
Yeah, it didn't really impress me. I mean, I guess just because it was very at like the very beginning was very exposition-y, and like you see Twilight being like not wanting to go home and being uncomfortable, and then they spend a while being like, I noticed Twilight doesn't want to go home. Could she be uncomfortable? And then it was just a lot of hemming
Yeah,
and hawing,
yeah.
and just not that much happened.
That's very true. And, like I said, I think that's the weakness of the premise being just so very, very simple.
not that much happened,
been
and I
done.
didn't find the resolution particularly satisfying because
Oh, the resolution was very strange.
It was
I thought
strange.
the
It was
episode
very
ended really
abrupt.
abruptly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, on the one hand, the mobile that they made was sort of bizarre, and I don't really get it. But on the other hand, I would also have been very
On the other hoof,
pleased if
then.
all my friends came together and made me a
Huh.
big installation art piece to go in my house, even if it was weird looking. I would.
Yeah.
That's still cool.
It was cool. I like the fact that they're like reincorporating the library a little bit. The gem memory thing, despite being weird, is really cool. It's a good thing, It all makes sense. It's a nice thing. Good episode.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
10 out of
Yeah.
10.
10
Well,
out of 10.
anybody else got anything to say? Any
The
more
the
notes?
the spa pony talked funny. I liked it.
Yeah.
That one.
Oh
I-
man,
me too.
She
let
was
me
so
let me
like,
voice
yeah.
Let me voice
Bulk
yet more
biceps.
disappointment with the fan base, because watching in the
Oh.
stream, when Spike was about to get the massage from Bulk Biceps, everyone
Yeah.
in the stream was like, oh, Spike's gonna get raped. Spike's gonna get butt fucked. Everyone, I hate you. I hate you.
Little do they know,
I didn't even
Spike
think
is
of
the
that.
one doing the
Phantom horn.
raping.
Spike,
You're a monster.
Oh my
you're a
God.
monster. Drowning in fuck butt.
My new channel. You found me. You found my identity.
Please subscribe.
I didn't even
Donate to
think
the
about
Drowning
rape.
and Fuck Butt Patreon.
What'd you say, Gib?
I
Well,
didn't-
why
my
would-
mind
why
didn't
would
go
you?
to. Yeah, it's a massage.
Why,
It's
why
gonna
would you
press
think
back.
about that? It's so bizarre.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
no idea. I
Bulk
don't know.
biceps
'Cause-
is
I
going
don't
to use
know.
his bulky biceps and just destroy Spike's tiny
Ass.
spine. Like, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I guess so. And so it did. And that's why his back... you notice how his back was all broken up? He was all hurt? It's because they fucked up his insides with his monster cock.
Well, Bulk Biceps is clearly straight as an arrow. I mean, we saw last
Him
season.
and Fluttershy.
Yeah,
yeah.
Best pair.
Yeah,
Best ship.
him and Fluttershy have definite chemistry. Can't
I,
wait
bel-
for the
I
two
believe he
character.
fucked Derpy's eyes sideways.
Yeah, that's canon.
With his-
I asked
with
Lauren
his
about that. She
thunder
confirmed
cock.
it.
him and Derpy went to special ed together, and they had a little fling.
No! No! He's a good
Oh,
man.
man,
It's true.
that's
It's in the
smart man.
comics. It's in the
But-
comics.
That
Lot-
good old-fashioned
lots of
retard
good-
sex in the back of the sped bus.
Lots of good people and productive members of society went to special ed. Listeners,
We appreciate
Are
you.
you accusing them?
I know my audience.
Yeah, he sure does. Well, I think that's just gonna about do it. We've covered it. Let's stamp a 10 on it and put this one in the can.
I'm okay with that.
Yep. stamp it, lick it, mail it to Santa. We did good, fellas.
We did. All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good.
Everyone say goodbye.
My cock.
Goodbye.
Thanks everyone for joining us this week, and remember to give us lots of money on Patreon.
That's right.
Also
you owe
me.
us $20.
Also me, please.
And me too. I'm
Gibbon's
bored.
here too.
Goodbye.